Hello, this is a brief video on how to compute the difficulty and discrimination index on Excel, and it will be relevant for your third quarterly assignment. Um, and so I'm going to use the example that was given in the textbook, page 165. Um, Supposedly this is coming from item 14. We got the number of people who got it right for choices A, B, C, and D, and this is actually for the high group, so the top 27% of your distribution, and the low group, which is the bottom 27% of your distribution. Um, so at this point, given that you've completed quite a bit of assignments requiring Excel, this really shouldn't be that hard. It's pretty easy. So what you want to do is you want to get the sums of people who answered these specific response choices across the columns and also across the groups. So we'll just use the sum function equals to sum. Just highlight the relevant cells, drag it across the relevant response choices, and it should be the sums as well for each corresponding response choice. Same formula for the high group, and same formula for the low group. And we are going to sum, and either way it works. You could sum the total number of responses that was originally divided based on the specific responses A, B, C, and D, or you could sum the total number of responses that was originally divided across groups. Either way, you should still get the total number of responses. And to prove it to you, I'm going to do it this way as well. So if you can kind of see this 50, this is 50, so just pick one. And okay, this right here is the formula for calculating difficulty level, and so we need the number of correct responses in the high group and the number of correct responses in the low group, and the total number of responses for the item, and then difficulty level. Number of correct responses in the high group. This is going to be equals to this cell right here. So B is the correct answer, and 21 out of 29 people in the high group answered correctly. So that's 21. Number of correct responses in the low group, we're going to select this cell right here. So 5 out of 21 people in the low group got this correct. Total number of responses for the item, so this is going to be 50. Difficulty level, just plug and play. So I'm just going to open the parentheses, number of correct responses number of correct responses in the high group plus the number of correct responses in the low group divided by the total number of responses for the item. So difficulty level is 0.52. Remember, if the difficulty level, so 0.52 can pretty much be converted into a percentage. So this is going to be 52%. So for example, if the difficulty level is 100%, this means that everyone got the item correct. So this is a far too easy item if this was, say, 1.00 or 100%. But if your difficulty level equals to 0, this would mean that everyone got the item incorrect. So this would be a very, very difficult one. So I want you to basically, in your assignment, this is just another example, interpret what this difficulty level means. You'll get a different number, obviously, for this assignment. Next is to compute your discrimination index. And the discrimination index is basically going to be this formula right here. You already have the elements to plug and play into this formula, so I'm just going to do that. So equals to number of correct responses in the high group minus the number of correct responses in the low group, divided by 0.5 multiplied by the total number of responses for the item. So, as described in the text, when your discrimination index is positive, that means that more people in the high group than in the low group got the item correct. And that's basically what you want. That's when your item is doing what it's supposed to. But if your discrimination index is negative, it means that more people in the low group than in the high group got the item correct. So suggesting that the item is not doing what it should. Provide the appropriate interpretation for that as well. And ultimately, the question that you had to answer and explain is this. Is this a good item, this one right here? Or should we remove that item or revise that item? And I want you to provide your rationale for that as well, based on what you've read in the chapter. And that's it. And that's how you would compute the difficulty and discrimination index in Excel.